Renata Richter had always preferred the quiet rhythm of her days, the soft chime of the cuckoo clock in the hallway, the percolator's gurgle in the kitchen at dawn, the rustle of pages in her worn copy of Pride and Prejudice. At 71, she'd cultivated silence like a garden, pruning away the noise of unmet expectations. But silence, she learned in the crisp autumn of 2025, was a fragile bloom. One desperate click from a daughter-in-law's manicured finger, and it shattered into a digital storm. It began on a Tuesday, October 28, exactly 3 weeks after the confrontation that had redrawn the boundaries of Renata's world. She'd canceled the transfers, changed the locks, and installed those watchful cameras. The house on Elm Street felt like a sanctuary now, its walls no longer echoing with Lena's pacing or Max's half-hearted apologies. Renata had even ventured to the thrift store, donating the pale pink dress that hung like a ghost in her closet. For someone who'll wear it to celebrate, she'd told the clerk, her voice steady for the first time in years. That morning, she sipped chamomile tea at the kitchen table, scrolling idly through her Facebook feed on the ancient tablet Max had gifted her 2 Christmases ago. Trojan horse of connectivity she'd rarely used. Diana, her sister in Chicago, had been pestering her to join TikTok. It's for old birds like us, Renata. Quick dances, cat videos, and rants about grandkids who ghost you. Renata had laughed it off. Social media was Lena's domain, a glittering web of filtered perfection where weddings were intimate escapes and debts dissolved in captions. The first post appeared in her feed, not as a warning, but a whisper from a mutual acquaintance. Prayers for Renata Richter Hour. Dear family friend is struggling. The link led to Lena's profile, a cascade of stories that unfolded like a poorly scripted melodrama. The lead image was a candid shot Renata didn't recognize. Herself at the grocery store last spring, basket heavy with canned goods, her face etched with the quiet fatigue of solo shopping. It was from Max's phone, snapped without consent during one of his surprise visits. Heartbreaking. Update on my decline. The caption read, "We've been silent too long, but Renata needs help. After years of supporting us through thick and thin, she's suddenly cut us off, canceled our rent payments, changed her locks, even accused us of stealing her furniture. We're worried it's early dementia or a breakdown from loneliness. She's always been so generous, but now she's barricaded herself away. If you know her, reach out. We're starting a GoFundMe for her care." Comments flooded in. "Oh Lena, you're such a saint for speaking up. This is so sad. Hugs to you and Max. Praying for Renata." A few question marks dotted the thread, but empathy's tide drowned them. Shares rippled outward, first to local mom groups, then church circles. Renata's tea grew cold. She read the follow-ups. A video of Lena in tears, artfully lit, mascara artfully streaked, recounting hallucinations. Renata had supposedly confessed visions of Heinrich, rising from the grave to judge them. Another post alleged Renata had been hoarding groceries, preparing for an apocalypse she'd ranted about. Fabrications piled like snowdrifts. The dress wasn't donated. It was burned in a fit of rage. The bank visits, erratic withdrawals for conspiracy books. By noon, the GoFundMe had $2,300. Donors left notes. For the angel daughter-in-law holding it together. Max's silhouette lurked in the comments, a single heart emoji his contribution. Renata's phone buzzed neighbors, old bridge club friends, even Mr. Klein from the bank. "Is everything okay?" Saw the posts. She sat frozen. The tablet a mirror, reflecting not her face, but a caricature, the crazy old lady. The punchline to a tragedy scripted by the woman who'd once cooed second mom over borrowed cash. Anger rose, hot and unfamiliar. But beneath it lurked a deeper wound, the erasure of her truth. For 3 years, she'd been the invisible scaffold holding their lives aloft. Now, she was the villain in her own vanishing act. Diana called at 1:15 p.m. Her voice a Chicago gale. "Renata, what the hell? My feed's exploding with this crap. Lena's painting you as Norman Bates in pearls. I'm booking a flight again." "No," Renata said, surprising herself. "Not yet. Let me think." She hung up, paced the living room. Where the sofa hers bore faint wine stains. From Lena's girls' night. That never included her. The cameras blinked red. Outside, leaves skittered like fleeing accomplices. By evening, the storm broke wide. A sharp-eyed commenter on Facebook unearthed an old photo from the wedding. Lena's family beaming, champagne flutes aloft. With a geotag from the venue. Wait, intimate ceremony. Looks like 20 guests. Where's the mill? The thread ignited. Screenshots circulated Lena's bridal shower, thank yous crediting Renata's $800 for the gown, juxtaposed with the GoFundMe please. Twitter, or X, as it insisted, amplified it. Hashtag Renata Richter trended locally, then nationally, with sleuths connecting dots to elder abuse forums. This screams financial exploitation. One viral tweet read, linking to AARP articles. DIL excludes Mill from wedding she funded, then cries wolf when Mill sets boundaries. Classic reversal, replies poured. Protect Renata at all costs. Lena's a grifter check. Her history of emergencies. A podcaster with 5OK followers dissected the timeline. Voiceover booming, from rent angel to restraint order. This is elder gaslighting 101. Lena's posts, meant as a lifeline, became a noose. The GoFundMe stalled at $4,100. Donors retracting with venom felt scammed. Where's proof? Max's workplace, a mid-tier accounting firm, fielded calls. HR emailed him a personal matter leave. Lena's Instagram, once a shrine to hashtag blessed life, hemorrhaged followers. Desperate, she doubled down with a live, haters gonna hate, but we're fighting for family. Viewers tuned in not for sympathy, but shot him. Exploding with receipts, or GTFO. Renata watched from her armchair, a spectator to her own spectacle. The notifications were a deluge. Support from strangers. You're a queen, don't let them dim your light. Outrage on her behalf, sue the pants off them. Even interview requests from local news. But amid the chaos, one message pierced, from @SilverFoxSage, a 68-year-old widow in Seattle. Saw the mess. Been their kids who treat you like a pension plan. Started my TikTok rant last year. DM if you want tips. Hashtag Grey Power. TikTok. Diana's nagging echoed. Renata had downloaded the app on a whim last week, scrolling cat filters and Gen Z dances that made her chuckle. But posting, exposing her wrinkles and wounds to the world. Absurd. Yet as the clock struck 10 p.m., with hashtag Renata Richter at 15,000 mentions, she felt a stir, not fear, but the same cold determination that had faced down Mr. Fisher. She propped the tablet on a stack of cookbooks. The kitchen light casting warm shadows. No script, no filter, just her, silver hair loose. Cardigan from the 80s, eyes steady as rhinestones. Hello, she began, voice soft but unyielding. I'm Renata Richter. You've probably seen the stories about my instability, my breakdown. Let me tell you the truth. She spoke for 3 minutes. The rent checks, the wedding snub, the invasion with the lawyer. No tears, no theatrics, just facts, laced with the wry humor of survival. They called me confused. But clarity comes when you stop paying for indifference. She ended with a pause. Then, if you're an elder feeling invisible, you're not alone. Share your story below. We're more than wallets. We're warriors. Hashtag elder empowerment. Post sleep came fitfully. Dreams tangled with phantom pings. At 6 a.m., she checked, 247 views. By 8 a.m., 12K comments bloomed. Yes, queen. My daughter did the same, cut her off. Now she calls begging. At 75, I recognize this gaslight. Subscribe? Diana texted. Viral already. You're a natural. The algorithm, that capricious god, took notice. By noon, views hit 500K. Duets flooded in, young women lip-syncing her line, "We're warriors." Boomers nodding along with fist emojis. A lifestyle influencer with 2 million followers stitched her video. This is why we need hashtag Grey Power now. Renata, news outlets picked it up. Grandma goes viral after DIL smear campaign backfires. Renata's first taste of backlash's bounty was a delivery at her door. A bouquet from the podcast. Card reading, your voice is the receipt we needed. Then calls real ones, from the AARP inviting her to a local shelter asking for her story to train volunteers. But the true alchemy happened in the DMs, hundreds, then thousands, from elders across the globe. My son sold my heirlooms while I was in the hospital. In-laws treat me like the help. Renata replied to each, her tablet glowing late into the night. Emboldened, she posted again, a tutorial, of sorts. How to spot financial red flags in family, filmed at her dining table. She laid out the ledger $33,400 itemized on a whiteboard, each entry a cautionary tale. Rent, $18,000. That's not help. That's a hostage. Views 1.2 M. The series grew, setting boundaries without guilt. Her walking the park, voiceover on eggshells. Reclaiming your space, donating the sofa. Live unboxing a new one. Triumphant. Diana arrived mid-November. Suitcase bursting with ring lights and influencer kits from Amazon. You're not just viral sis, you're a movement they filmed together. Diana's brassy energy contrasting Renata's poise, duetting on what entitlement looks like. The aunt-niece vibe though, sisters. Charmed, followers dubbed them #Silver Sisters. Sponsorships trickled. A senior fitness app, gentle yoga for warriors. A budgeting tool track your truth, not their lies. Renata demurred the big bucks. I'm no sellout, but accepted collabs that aligned. Free therapy sessions for commenters. Discounted legal consults for abuse victims. Max and Lena, meanwhile, spiraled in the eye of the hurricane. Evicted by month's end, they couch surfed with Lena's begrudging parents. Her posts deleted in a frantic scrub. Max's job evaporated, colleagues whispering family drama in the break room. He texted Renata sporadically, Mom, this is destroying us. Can we talk? She archived them. Unread, that viral pivot came December 5th. #Elder Empowerment, hitting 50 meters views. A major outlet Good Morning America wanted an interview. Renata in her kitchen now, a makeshift studio. Faced the camera with Diana off-screen mouthing, You've got this. It's not revenge, she told the anchor. Her first live TV since a school bake sale in '92. It's reckoning. They tried to silence me with lies. But truth has a sound. And getting louder, the segment exploded. Clips remixed into TikTok anthems. Renata's face on billboards for elder rights campaigns. She launched challenges. #My invisible labor. Elders sharing untold sacrifices. #boundary boss. Scripting comebacks to mooching kin. Followers surged to 1M, then 5M, dubbing her Nana Rick. The sage schooling a generation on self-worth, but virality's underbelly nipped. Trolls, boomer entitlement much. Doxing attempts, her address leaked, prompting police visits. Exhaustion's creep, nights blurred by edits and DM. Diana played manager, one video a day, max, and boundaries for them, and us. Renata nodded, but the fire burned steady. She hired Mr. Weber for a foundation, Richter Resilience, funding legal aid for exploited elders. First grant, $10,000 to a widow in Ohio. Echoing her own ledger, Christmas approached like a truce flag. Snow blanketed Elm Street. The house aglow with lights, Renata hung herself no borrowed ladders this year. The doorbell rang on the 23rd. Max, alone, cheeks hollowed by winter and want. No Lena, she'd fled to a cousin's in Philly. Their marriage frayed by fallout, Mom, he said, breath fogging the glass. Lena's idea, born of panic after the eviction notice. She said sympathy would bring help, crowdfunding for a new start. I didn't stop her. That's on me. The pregnancy lie? A Hail Mary, whispered in the Live's green room. Miscarriage had followed weeks later. A private grief amplified by public scorn. I was complicit, he admitted. In the wedding, the debts, the lawyer, thought I was building a life. But I was just borrowing yours. Tears traced her wrinkles. Not ice, but thaw. You saw me as a well, Max. But wells run dry when over. My video's there for every mother who feels that pull. He nodded. The album opened to a faded snapshot. 3-year-old Max on Heinrich's shoulders. Renata laughing below. TikTok Max, here your follower wants to make it right. Therapy, a real job, No asks. Just time. She closed the album gently. Time's what I have now. Earn it, like I did mine. He left with a hug brief. Phone depanned a promise. Weekly check-ins. No ledger. Lena, radio silence. Her accounts dormant. Whispers of divorce in group chats, Renata ignored. New Year's dawned electric. Renata's follower count hit 10M. Collaborations poured TEDx talk on digital dignity for elders. A book deal for only special people. A memoir of boundaries. The foundation grew. Chapters sprouting in Chicago Diana's domain. Seattle hashtag SilverFoxSage single quotes as hub. She even danced a clumsy waltz to ABBA's Dancing Queen. Duetted by thousands, proving joy's no age gate. By spring 2026. The storm had sculpted canyons. Lena faded into obscurity. A cautionary byline in true crime pods. Max rebuilt. A junior horologist with a side hustle restoring clocks Heinrich's echo. Renata, she thrived, her feed a tapestry of triumphs. Rhine cruises vlogged in real art classes where followers joined virtually. Live Q&As unpacking your ledgers. One evening, as cherry blossoms dusted her windowsill, she filmed a reflection. They called me unstable, but stability isn't silence, it's standing when they push. If you're watching Warrior, remember, your story isn't their script. Write the twist. Views climbed. But she closed the app. Stepping into the garden, the cuckoo chimed freedom's hour. In the digital roar, she'd found her quiet roar, not vengeance, but voice. And it echoed, unbreakable, into forever.